He's still going. Butler over in the corner. That's the line. Over the line he rolls. Burnside. Brighton. Old Collegians have turned it over. Oh, he's got it again. He's got to go. Spry will do very well. Spry will go. Port Adelaide will push out. And they will push on to them. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to CME Sports Lighting Field. Normally, you will notice that we are looking at this slightly different to what we normally do. We are normally over the far side, which is what your camera is looking at, and we can read the name of the field off the clubhouse. You can still see it. But we are in the midst of a fairly major development. As you can see, there is a building site over that far side. The new Brighton clubhouse will be there, and I was told end of January.
End of January? Could be before that. They're sort of pushing forward in the development, so they want to be done before Christmas for the handover.
Yeah, I suppose I should introduce you as well. Steph Redmond, as per usual, when we come down to Brighton. We are here for Brighton taking on Old Cold. Round one of season 1.2, really.
Correct.
As it would be. We haven't seen Old Cold for a while. Haven't seen Brighton for a while. In fact, the last time we saw Brighton was round one of the season. Correct. When we were here. So you've been going about your business quite nicely, hovering around that number one, number two spot for the first half of the season.
The premiers have been right up there. They're trying to be consistent. There's been a number of injuries, a number of ins and outs, a few changes here and there, a few different faces out there nowadays, but still trying to maintain their same sort of gameplay.
Yeah, there is some. You might hear a little bit of a giggle because where we are, because of the change of location, we basically have the entire sideline in front of us. So we are working off a screen for most of it. Welcome to the other side of the camera, Alex Rockaborough, who you can see with the ball at the moment. We've heard him in commentary before. Likes to go hard on the players, so he better be absolutely faultless today.
It's up to him to be faultless all game.
Yes.
Criticisms will come in his own way.
They will. We will start off with the moustache. It's an interesting decision this far away from November, but we'll let you have it, Buller. Talking about changes, you may have seen on your screen before one Reece Gerd swapping the red for yellow. Keeping the black.
Keeping the black, yes.
But red and yellow. So that's one to keep an eye on. And also seeing him play back row, which is not a position we're used to seeing him in.
Very versatile, though. Give him a chance, he'll throw his hand at anything.
But we are about ready to go. So Old Collegians finished third in the roundup of the season. So we will talk about that probably a bit more as we get through the game. But we are underway. Nice and deep.
Taken by Ryan Murphy. Straight up hit.
Well, they all look very serious. I did pop my head into the Brighton dressing room just before. They're all looking very serious before we get to this one. As we go out to Pitter on that far side. Just see whether Brighton can settle into it. We both watched the reserve grade game, bits of the reserve grade game, and scrappy was the word that we ended up describing it as.
Very scrappy, the second grade game. But playing again on the width, back out to Joe.
Joe managed to find a little bit of space. The ankle tap will get him. Not held though, so can get up and go again. Caron, who we like the look of in round one, Hector Caron.
And Andrew Brown dragged out over the sideline.
The perpetual Andrew Brown. Is Logan around? I'm just looking. I'm trying to have a look at the bench.
Logan's on dad's duties today. Logan's still out injured. He's probably a couple of weeks away, hopefully. Coming back from a knee injury that he did round 3.
The injury's starting to plague him a little bit, I think, as he's reaching the autumn of his playing career. But he's still a young lad, really, though, isn't he?
He is a young man, especially compared to me.
So Sivia will throw in the lineup for Old Coles.
Clean off the top.
Out to Rockaborough. Out into midfield to Bartlett, and then this very, very dangerous back three of Old Coles. I think this is going to be a battle of these back lines at times. That's Marco. Just sending it out to Ferguson.
Always looking for work, Robbie Ferguson. Bundled into touch on the far side, which is our usual near side.
Yeah, it is a little bit disconcerting. I'm getting a little bit travel sick.
Yep.
Looking backwards on it. But again, our officials today in the middle, Mr. Peter Snoop Jackson, and then Mr. and Mr. Ridley, the father and son duo, as we've seen so often. And 2 line-outs early doors to Old Collegians. This time they go to the back, just quite can't get it in. So then they can go. Satala will send it out to Pitter. He'll have a little bit of time on his hands.
Decides to work into traffic. Ball's back for Caron.
Caron showed, and then will come out to Joe. He's looking for a little bit of space.
Fraction high, but
I was going to say that, but everything
is
is high on Joe. It'd be a normal waist-high tackle on everybody else. I did just pick something up, and it'd be really interesting if Brighton Old Coles keep with that. They went 1 high, 1 low on Pitter. He loves to get his hands free in the tackle, so we'll see whether they keep working on that and try and prevent him getting those offloads.
I think you probably have to double team Pitter anyway.
Well, minimum, I would say.
Yep.
Plummer just bounces it out to Marco. He'll step back inside, beats the first one, can't beat the second one. A little knock on. So set pieces, early days, going to Old Collegians.
They have. A couple of unforced errors by Brighton, but Satala asking the question of Snoop.
Well, that's going to be an interesting conversation, because they'll know each other from years gone by, won't they, Snoop and Nathan?
Yes, they will.
Did Snoop coach him?
I think he did when.
Well, I mean, he coached him last year with. Oh no, he coached against him last year with the Black Falcons against the Northern Territory. We'll keep him back. We'll keep quiet about that one.
Ah, that's fine. I think Nathan was in the side when Snoop was the A-grade coach down here.
So that'll be an interesting relationship all day. Rockaborough sends it back inside.
Nice inside line, well
Here's
contained.
Bartlett. Old Coles will look to get it wide. Brighton have done just about enough.
Bounced out of a tackle there. Just marshalling the troops, getting the ball slow. Good line speed from Brighton.
It is what we would expect from a top of the table clash, and we are really seeing the re-emergence of Old Coles after the last couple of years. Even though they were still part of the top 4, they've kind of backed away a little bit over the last couple of years.
They have, but everyone has to rebuild and redevelop.
Rockaborough out to Bartlett. Bartlett looks outside, beats the first one and the second, then gets it inside to Fleetwood Piper. Nice offload off the ground. Rockaborough is in support. Inside to Dawes.
Good direct running.
Sharkey again. Says Gary Mann on my team sheet, but I don't think that is Gary Mann.
Oh, good.
Hands in the ruck. So it's a chance for Brighton to relieve the pressure, and it's been back and forward so far, and both on the front foot. Missed touch though. Sent a long way over, and they do love to spread it wide and spread it quickly to Old Coles. Good counter ruck from Satala, but
kick the ball through. Can't do that in the ruck these days.
Even accidentally, as he was trying to make out that it was accidental. But that's a penalty in a good position, and Rockaborough will. No thoughts of points. They're going to go to the sideline.
They want to keep the pressure.
It's a good kick down into the 22.
Wind at their tails in the first half for College though, so it's the corner they'll be playing to.
It's just it's about that driving maul range as well, isn't it? It's about this point that defensively you start thinking about it.
Brighton needs to be switched on for this. They've got to either contest competitively or not at all.
Or he just missed his target. So not at all worked.
Not at all was the right option.
Sometimes doing nothing is the best option.
Back for Cook down the blind side.
But just outside the 22, so that's probably got rid of that. The relieving kick. First time we've seen him running the black and yellow. Satala steps back inside, can't get away from Rockaborough. That's going to be a good battle, I think, in that midfield channel.
I think last time they played against each other, Nathan was on the flank, playing at 7, so back out into familiar territory for him, back out in the back line. Double numbers on his back.
He does like it, doesn't he?
I'll give him a chance, he'll play anywhere. And the driving kick takes us back down towards...
Well, just on halfway, just about halfway. But yeah, I'm still, and again, Richard Wasley is the man with the job. I'm not questioning his thought process at the moment, but I still don't think there's a better counter-attacking 15 in the league as far as rugby IQ goes than Satala.
Has a magnificent read on the game and creates.
Yeah, and I feel like his creativeness is just a little bit confined at 12, but like I said,
I think, he'll have some opportunity from 12 though.
I'm sure I won't be the first person to disagree with Richard Wasley, and I'm sure it's water off a duck's back to him.
Yes.
I think any coach in South Australian rugby will have these sorts of conversations after every single game. As the night draws on.
I think they get told by the experts, like the sideline experts after every game. It'd have to be the toughest thing as a coach.
You just need to make clear, if I was any good at coaching, I wouldn't be here, would I?
well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So college line out.
Another old Coles lineup. This time they will go to the back. That's Gary, man. They'll go off the top. Rockaborough again will pull it out the back. Yeah, it's Carl Edgar. Running around the back. It's a move we've seen a couple of times. It's looked like a good jackal. Is that Satala playing as a back rower in the backs?
He's always keen for a jackal there. And Pitter in for another go as well.
Nice draw and give to Piper. Fleetwood Piper. Oh, do you know what? He treads a fine line with them every week. Every time we see him play, there's a couple of them.
There is. He does dice himself with that sideline.
And I don't know whether we'll have a replay of it, but there's a wonderful look between him and Snoop afterwards. He just has a little look out the side of his eye. Is he going to say anything?
Ball off the top, into Brown, crashing up in the middle.
Out to Caron again. Plummer. Out to Pitter. Pitter looking to drop off to Margo.
Back in for Margo.
Manages to get him eventually. Caron. Satala stands in at first 5. Out to Cook. Always looks resplendent in the afternoon sunshine. Does that beard of Jack Cook's?
Yes. Loves a bit of graft for himself though. Always keen for a hit up the middle.
Certainly gets through some work.
Murphy. Gone again. Quick ball.
Now they've got a little bit of space. Pitter again. Now they will go out to Marco. Now they've got Joe in some space. Couldn't quite get the first one. Foot into touch and flag goes up.
Unlucky.
Honestly, I think the best metaphor with Joe, it's almost like having having a dog that's constantly on the edge. As far as old Coles are concerned, they can't give him too much space and too much freedom because he will bite them.
Oh, I agree. Another one you could probably use. It's like trying to herd cats.
Well, that's also true.
He's just so elusive. His read, like trying to defend against him, is impossible. They say watch his hips, but
Rockaborough will step back inside. It's taken a nice old Collegians bounce all the way back to the 22. Now Joe has what he wants, which is a broken field, ball in hand and a counter-attacking opportunity. There he goes with a couple of steps and we'll get the offload to Cook.
Stands. Oh, that's well contained there by Cook.
It's done okay.
Into heavy traffic and then a slight knock on.
Yeah, so old Coles, it was a good kick, but to use the old adage, your kick is only as good as your chase, and you cannot be a broken line against Joe. He will punish you. I mean, again, you could have that line absolutely perfect and he'll find a way through.
He'll create it.
But that's I've just looked at the clock and we're 10 minutes gone. It's absolutely flown by and we're still 0-0. Just a stoppage. I think there's an old Coles player getting a little bit of treatment.
Yeah.
And what you will see as well is you've seen a lot of the old Coles players come and get drinks, and the Brighton players are all, you know, taking in the water. It is unusually warm for this time of year.
It is. Compared to last week, anything is warm. But
Well,
yeah,
that's
today is quite warm playing conditions for middle of winter.
Yeah, it's going to be. It's that change from they will have trained on Thursday night and it would have been quite cool,
Fresh
and
as.
then all of a sudden you're into that heat. It's almost like finals rugby weather.
Yeah,
Not quite
as warm as finals weather, but it's a good gauge, especially after coming out. Well, the last couple of weeks has been quite fresh, quite cold, and today with a bit of sunshine and being an earlier game for Premier grade, it's something the boys probably aren't quite used to.
You did send me a message last night and said, well, I need my big coat.
I did look at the weather forecast. It said maybe a chance of a late shower, but while the sun's out, let's stay warm.
Sharky off the back to Rockaborough. This time an inside ball. Blindside winger coming off his line.
Finally makes it to ground.
Another inside ball, this time to man, half stopped by Murphy. Satala might have hands
Stripped
on,
in the
has
tackle.
stolen it. So the turnover will go Brighton's way. Caron out to Plummer. Just too
Floated
far
across
in
the
front. Cook will sort it out, then they will go out to Joe. Excellent covering tackle.
Well done.
I think that's McDonough, Robbie McDonough, Liam McDonough, sorry.
Liam?
Who's done very, very well. Liam McDonough, lovely tackle. I tell you what, kids, if you're watching this at home, that's about as good as it gets.
Focus on the player right the way through the tackle.
Good track as well.
Great tackle.
Really good tackle.
Hit on the waistline. Always going down. Another college
he
line
can't
out.
go anywhere without his legs, can he?
Nope.
This time they will go over the back, and again, just missed the target, but this time it's more fortunate for Old Collegians. Off the ground to Rockaborough. Looks like there's already been a change for Old Collegians, so I think they might have, that injury might have been more impactive than
just a water break.
Yeah.
So ball sitting at the back for Coles. About 5 short of the 22.
Morrison will look for a little bit of space. Sharkey will send it off, and just taking it in bite-sized chunks at the moment. Old Coles, nice and patient.
Yes, playing percentage.
Gary Mann will find a little bit of room. Looked for the inside ball. Tried to find, not sure who that is in the headgear.
Just when I said trying to play percentage.
There we go.
Oh,
I mean, the only thing I would say his head is in the wrong
I
point.
was about to comment on that.
That's about it.
That was about it.
Really good from Liam McDonough, cheek to cheek. But yeah, really, really nice tackle from Liam McDonough. Could that be the first time we see a tackle make one of the big plays? Oh no, we did see the backpack tackle the other week.
There's been a number of decent tackles put on this year that I think that have been well broadcast.
You just remember it, making me remember the Matt Mooney versus Jason Hyam incident. We've all been there, Matt. Inside ball to Satali. You could see on your screen what the gap that he was looking at.
Quick ball.
They have managed to get away. Brown will send it out to Pitter. Pitter manages to break the first one. Can't get away from the second.
Ball at the back. Andrew Brown picking up, having a go. Made a good 5 metres.
Had a go, he has. Caron again. Murphy steps back inside, stopped in his tracks.
Well supported with Jaden Phillips. Who's that? Reese Gerd coming through, catching a high one, taking it into contact.
It's not the ones you want, is it? Just expose your entire rib cage. Caron again. It's been interesting as we get into 15 minutes. One of the things that every time Caron takes the ball, you can see him looking and seeing what those players are doing around the fringes of it. That's turned over, but we're going to come back.
Centre field penalty. Oh, halfway between 22 and 10 metre. Offside.
Offside, and he's just pointed at someone and said that's his second one.
You're never left wondering what the penalties are for with Snoop. He's does keep you well informed.
He does not look comfortable. I think that's the number 9, Sharkey, for, well, he's going for it. He's going to have a tee. He's asking for the tee, so he's going to get the points. I mean, we are 16 minutes in and 0-0. That's the last thing Old Coles would want, is to make a change at halfback. He's now taken a seat. Hopefully it's just a knock and he'll run it off. Just trying to look to my left and look at what they've got from halfback replacement points of view. Rob Smedley is in, well, he's right in front of us. He's on dad duty as well. So he's clearly not going to go and step into that breach. They have got Mokomoko who can play in that position if it gets too bad for him.
Yeah, John has played there before. He's fairly versatile. He'll have a go.
That's where he really wants to be.
Don't
He
we all?
set that
Nice
one
kick.
on the way.
And straight down
Yeah,
the middle.
there they go. Flags go up. So 3-0 as we approach 20 minutes. Just going to keep an eye on Sharkey. He does not look comfortable at all. Trying to get there, and there's the longing look towards the sideline, which is stoically ignored at the moment by the Old Coles bench.
It's a very laboured limp, isn't it?
It is. I don't know whether...
Ankle?
Yeah, he's going to his ankle.
Or perhaps he was just trying to pull his socks up.
I don't know whether he can run it off, but anyway. Rockaborough with the restart.
That's long.
Yeah.
And straight to Andrew Brown.
Straight to Andrew Brown.
Probably the most dangerous bloke to kick it to.
Just spend a lot of time with the Romans, Alex Rockaborough, talking about their restarts and making them contestable. So you want to just pull that in a little bit and give his forwards a chance.
Does have wind at his tail though. A very jagged run there by Pitter to make 10 metres. Ball's out again. Brighton now on halfway. Quick ball.
Nice hands from Cook. Oh, it looks like Satala gave the pass and then decided against it. Got it again. Caron. Infield, short ball to Murphy. Little bit of man and ball. Caron again to Plummer. Good defensive line speed from Dawes. Forces Plummer to go back inside. Caron again. Just every single time he's looking to snipe. Just looped over the top. Now they've got Joe in a little bit of space. Oh, he just stands up, Edgar. Now he's one-on-one. Will chip over the top. How's the bounce? Bounce is good enough. Joe will break the deadlock as far as tries go. First time we've seen him in a little bit of space and a little bit of time. And my word, he made Edgar look ordinary.
Plenty of work to do for that one.
Just,
see the ankle
this is the point here. Edgar thought he had him and then he's gone.
Gone. And
now you see
lovely
me.
little chip.
Now you see
up.
me, now you don't. 5 points. And that's...
Here's a great end-on view of it. Oh, sold it.
Just the initial acceleration from him. And then, honestly, you can't sell short that skill to be able to chip over the top and have it bounce where you want it to go. That's about as good as it gets. So Plummer will look to add on the extras.
And there it is.
Lovely shot. Look at that. Artistic.
Picturesque.
10 points to 0 with 20 minutes gone. Just when you thought this was going to be one of those games, just a moment of brilliance from Joe, and off they went.
Brighton will need to maintain it though, because College will hit straight back. They've got to maintain their composure and keep their processes working, or else College will make them pay.
Well, I'm just looking away to my right, and the halfback is in the hands of the physio, and he's still not great. And now we get the signal. So it looks like Villian is going to come on. So where's the change going to be to halfback? We'll see where we go. Rockaborough again just puts it in that same spot. Murphy takes it up this time. Good challenge. Well, that might be day done for Sharkey. So that one goes into touch. Rockaborough, of course, as well, could play halfback.
We'll see who's coming. He has. Looks like he's coming into stand at 9, is he?
Well,
yes, he is.
Yes, he is. I think he is, yeah. So Rockaborough has gone to 9.
I think it's just been.
And I think it's Busby who's gone into 10. So it is all change.
I think everyone's shuffled in one, haven't they?
Go to the back off the top. Rockaborough has to tidy it up. Then we'll give it to McDonough. Straight and hard. Oh! Nearly a number 10, Jacqueline. Would have had to hand in his first 5 card if he'd done that.
I think he might have as well.
Mokomoko will pick and drive straight into Cook. I think he's pleased that there was a knock on, because that was not that was not going to end well for him.
The whistle's gone and he's like, oh, I'll stop now.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how I found myself in this position. It is interesting. Villion has gone to the back, the Phantom, as we nicknamed him a couple of years ago. He's already played. I think he played a full game at reserve grade. So how much fuel is left in his tank?
He's got 15 on his back, plenty.
Yeah.
Although, is it 15 or 5? He's got his head taped up.
Yeah.
Wouldn't look out of place in the second row being that tall.
He is a rangy young man. Caron out to Joe again. Joe this time will step inside McDonough. Mokomoko got him. Again, looked a little bit high. Rockaborough was brave. Now it's going to come back. Mokomoko will step in. To Man. Man showed and then go.
Slow ball. Coming back left.
Still happy to go. Need to find out who that young man is. I think... Rockaborough out to Busby, then they will send it a little bit wider. There is Villion out to Fleetwood Piper. Fleetwood Piper can't get away from the tackle. Kind of gave it up like he was in touch, and he is in touch.
Flag would suggest it.
Let's see whether it was. I mean, it's that difficult one now where you're going over the shoulder.
It is.
Because it's
seatbelt tackle, I heard it called the other day.
Oh, I like that. I'll have that.
Nah.
He didn't get all the way over though, did he? So
no, no.
And wasn't quite a horse collar. Geez, all these tackles with all the different names. So free kick.
Free kick for numbers. Generally what it'd be in the line-out.
Yeah, and it wasn't like a not 5 thing.
Quick ball
there
to
goes
Gerd.
Gerd.
He'll take on the forward pack.
Happy to run it straight pretty much every time he gets the ball. Caron pulls it back, then Satala will look for a little bit of space. Does get around, just ducks under the tackle.
Back out to Plummer.
Oh, just come backwards off a... Oh, unsighted, came backwards off an old cold hand, but did, to all intents and purposes from the blind side, would have looked like a
knock on.
A knock on.
The ARs and the refs are mic'd up though, so, but can't call that sort of stuff. Great positioning for a scrum. 15 metres in. Give you a decent blindside for College.
And Rockaborough will probably look to do... He's just moved one in, like you said, to try and... He's just taken control of the game closer to the ruck, to the breakdown, out to Busby. Back inside.
Gives him a few less options.
To Edgar.
Nice straightening ball.
Rockaborough again. Sends it to Mokomoko. You might be able to hear the whistles in the background. There's a football game going on behind us, so...
Keep looking for game.
Yeah,
I'm
wondering. Now it's gone out to McDonough. McDonough will step back inside. Plummer hits him and hits him well.
Well contained. Ball's there available.
Now they'll go again. Just rolled inside. Sivia. Speed off the back for Old Coles. Off they go again. Busby floats it over the top to Bartlett. What have they got out there? Bartlett will straighten. No real thoughts of passing from Bartlett.
Well contained by Marco and Pitter. Ball's available again, coming back.
Busby again, flat ball.
Nice ball on all tackle by
yeah, but he managed to get rid of it. Edgar nearly found his way through. Busby. Messy, but it's getting there. Dawes takes on Brown. That is 2 heavyweights going toe-to-toe right there. Caron trying the counter ruck. Didn't really work for him, but 10 points for
68
effort.
68 kilos ringing wet. Well
man and ball, and Satala gets him, but there's a big, long blast of the whistle, and we're going for a penalty somewhere.
Far side by the look of it. What's the signal? Offside.
There we go. I think once you start getting that roll on with the breakdown and the speed that they're managing to get it away. And once they sort of start beating the gain line, that offside line is going to become more and more difficult for Brighton.
It is. They're going to have to be more controlled and more precise with their setup, set of breakdown. Take that extra step just so not to be caught.
So we are live on Facebook, and if you've got any questions for Steph or myself or Rugby Union in general, then we'd love to hear from you. Someone's saying, Gareth Atkinson, is that Redmond waffling on the commentary? I think waffling's a bit harsh. I think you've been very succinct and insightful. So, this definitely is driving Maul territory, and Brighton have done everything they can to stop it as it hits the ground. Little pause. Can they get it going again? Might have stalled.
Has there been a call yet?
I haven't seen
heard
it.
it.
There's
There's
one.
the one.
There is one. Use it one. Now they have got it going forward. That's over the line. That's the try. And Alex Rockerborough saying, get around us. Excellent position from Mr. Jackson. You saw him on his hands and knees. And, it was dangerous and that close in. They just managed to get it going again. And once they got it going that second time, Brighton were in all sorts of danger. Because, of course, as soon as you cross the line, all you have to do is fall over.
Down. Too many high heads for that one for Brighton. Having a look, I reckon.
It is Liam McDonough. Someone says Robbie McDonough has a nice ring to it. That's fair.
His name is now Robbie.
Callum Walton again saying hard not to go over the shoulder of him. It is tough, isn't it? You've got to be about absolutely perfect when you're tackling Joe.
You do. As saw by the sideline here earlier on. Well contained.
Callum Walton playing his trade over in New Zealand at the moment.
Okay. Be an interesting, interesting step up by about a couple of floors.
Rockerborough will send it on its way. Flags stay down. They had a good chat to each other.
I think it just popped under the bar by the look of that one.
Difficult to see from our angle, but
hard to see through a sea bottle.
It's hard to see anything at the moment.
Thankfully, we have technology.
It was just after that use it once. It seemed to spur them forward.
Brighton all stuck their head up and had a look where the ball was, and College took the ascendancy to regroup.
It's really interesting, actually. We've seen a couple of pushover tries, or at least, well, we saw one pushover try on Coringa down at Adelaide, and I watched it back, and the number of university players who had the head up in the scrum, and 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, isn't it? If you keep your head down and keep it in, you don't know what's going on.
Solid hit by Pitter.
That's better from Pitter.
Turned over. Murphy to Cook. Cook well wrapped up.
Hit behind the gain line, and then Caron has it.
Charged down.
Oh, what have we gone back for? The original. Oh, I thought we were on then. That's a fair advantage, that.
It was, to be honest, it was pretty messy advantage. Both ways.
Well, again, you get the advantage should be over when you get to where you would have got if you got the thing you got. So essentially, once you go out to first,
I don't got you.
but essentially, when you go out to first five, that's what you would have got from a scrum.
Correct.
So that should be an advantage over. But the referee is the sole arbiter of time and law. I think it is.
I think it is. I think if you don't make the gain line where the ball was to start with, I think the advantage can carry on. But
Plummer flat ball to Pitter. Then an inside ball to Joe. Yeah, there it is.
That's two hands on top of the shoulder. That's not a good tackle.
And dragged him down by the collar. I wonder how many he gets for that.
Oh, each game?
On average.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 1 or 2 a game.
It crawls up there, I reckon. So now Brighton in a very, very strong position, and also in a very, very good position.
Cook trying to muscle it up, double teamed. Where have we going?
Yeah, so that's where he's gone. He's gone the over the shoulder. That's what he's gone. So we are half an hour gone, and it is Brighton 10, Old Coles 5 with that misconversion. And then they always had the safety outlet of that penalty.
So line out in the corner.
Yeah, Plummer kicking it into the building site. Cook Building getting a little bit of advertising.
Yep.
Send the check in to Space Quick Sports.
Plug your name here.
Yeah, there's plenty of space there.
There's heaps. So Liam Hamilton throwing the ball in, taken down off the top by Clark Skelton. So driving.
Well, they're going to try and have a go at driving it. They have got it going forward. Just fractured a bit, didn't it? And that stopped it, but it doesn't matter. They've gone over.
Liam Hamilton for the try.
I wasn't aware where the line was, so.
He was it, yeah.
I don't think anybody was. They did fracture, but fortunately, Old Coles fractured at the same time. So Brighton just fight back. Anything you can do, we can do better.
All the same.
Not very 2019.
Well, you know, 5 points is 5 points. It's the same, isn't it?
Yeah, doesn't matter how you get there, does it?
No, that's a nice, some good shape in that.
Yeah,
they stayed narrow, kept the legs pumping. And
who is it who's going to come up with it? I can't.
Liam Hamilton.
Liam Hamilton. Well done, young man.
Good awareness of where that try line was. Only one out there.
Yeah, we had no clue.
No. I thought they were going for another 10 metres.
So Plummer will look to tack on the extras.
Kept the head down, pushed through, and
no, just didn't quite get there. It was a teaser.
It was great camera positioning, though.
15 points to 5. 33 minutes gone. And, well, Alex Rockaborough would hope this would be the last kick into the sun that he makes. See what he can do.
The second half, they'll have the...
Oh, they'll have an absolute shocker of an afternoon. Hand up from Brown, but Murphy...
Well taken by Murphy.
Took it really well. I mean, you can't underestimate how difficult that is at the moment. You see the shadows. He's literally looking right down the barrel of the sun.
Go, Robbie Ferguson
beats one, beats two, just about got him. Then the offload to Pitter, but there's a whistle. And again, I mean,
what is forward pass was the call for that one.
Due deference to Brighton, but you do probably have two of the smallest wingers in the league. He caught one on the shoulder as well. Pocket rockets they have at Brighton.
Pockets, yeah, but both hard.
Oh, certainly.
Definitely hard to contain. Their ability on the outside is never in doubt. Give Robbie Ferguson the ball and he'll try and run over anybody.
So bang on halfway. A lot of field to play with for Old Collegians. Busby. Short ball and then round, but back to Piper. Now Piper has a little bit of space. Can he beat the fullback? Yes, he can. Is he strong enough? Yes, he is. Just like that, they'll come back.
Fantastic line there.
Yeah, that's from halfway. Set play, first phase. I'm just looking whether I can see Richard Wasley. I mean, he's a closed book most of the time, but any coach in the league will not want to see a first phase try. And that's what we've just seen. I mean, and Ferguson was there, so Ferguson's followed him.
Yep.
That's just well designed, well executed. Well done, Old Collegians.
He's just looking at the finish of it. Joe couldn't drag him down short of the line and just dot the ball down.
Nearly got him. We talk about powerful and direct runners, then, you know, Fleetwood Piper's up there as well. Geez, there's some absolute talent on display today.
Does feature quite highly on direct running, doesn't he?
Yeah, just turn around and one array, Alex. That's about as good as it gets, my friend. Well done.
Straight over the black dot for the other two. So a 3-point game, 15-10, Brighton's way.
That's that first missed tackle.
It was,
and there's Ferguson who's come across.
Tackle process for Brighton there was just way too high.
And like, there are players you just can't leave one-on-one. You can't leave Joe one-on-one. You can't leave. Oh, there's some contact. There's noises from both sides. Let's see whether we can see it again and see.
Oh, lost forward in the.
Exactly. I think it
under
came
pressure.
off Dawes' feet, so we'll just play on. Now Dawes has got hands on. He's done very, very well, Dawes. That's a nice little passage of play from Timmy Dawes. Then the box kick. Under no real pressure. How's the bounce? Again, there's absolutely no chase. So Ferguson has all the time in the world. Fleetwood Piper will come across. And a penalty. Side entry. So let's just see why. There was lots of groans from both sidelines. I'm just wondering why.
Murphy.
Oh, well, yeah, ish. No, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, there was an attempt of a tackle there.
So, yeah.
It wasn't.
Certainly wasn't.
There was a low. There was a low and a high tackle, but yeah,
I think.
I just don't think the timing was quite.
No,
quite
and
there.
I think the noise
and he was off. And he was off balance.
The noise was there's no real rap, but yeah, play on.
Play on. No harm done.
No.
So now we've pushed back up to the 22 for.
Oh, Cole, they
Collegians.
must have got the penalty for entry.
Yeah, it was in the side. I think the signal was.
Probably a little bit outside of driving maul territory, and but Brighton certainly putting the stamp on it and saying you will not go any further.
Just
Use it once already because they weren't going anywhere. Now they're starting to go. I think they can use it whenever they want to now. Oh no, Murphy's come through the middle and absolutely he's got hands on. Keep hold, young man. Doesn't matter from this point.
Tis them all. Turnover ball.
Oh,
Ball's at the
very
back.
well. Ryan Murphy, take a bow. Satala looks to try and get around the outside of Edgar. Just strong and pushes him off. Caron leaves it to Pitter. It's a nice little move. I don't know whether it was
Sold
planned.
it on me.
I don't know whether it was planned, but good.
Out to Cook for a hit up. Contained. Ball at the back. Out to Greg Black.
Oh,
Sold
sold the dummy. Caron pointing again.
Marshalling the troops.
Old Coles have been very, very disciplined around the ruck and haven't allowed him the space that he wants.
No. He give him half a chance and a half a step.
Oh.
Lovely boots.
Yeah.
Laces pick up there by Satala.
Then works hard to get the ball back his own way. Murphy will stand in at half-back. Then
Andrew Brown pushing
will
out of the
swat
first.
away Malcolm. Oh, and there's another one there. No.
Back to Murphy.
No.
Murphy tackled. Ball's at the back. Brown's going to go himself again. No.
Well, it's just a little bit of half-back work from Brown. Man and ball for Plummer. Manages to get it out to Gerd. Gerd. Nice draw and give. Ferguson will step back inside. Manages to shake away. Gets the ball off the ground to Gerd. Good
Great
challenge from that's
bootlace
McDonough again. McDonough again. I think I called him Madonna by accident.
Huh.
Plummer. Oh, nice little handoff.
You'll have a dozen new names by the end of the game the way you're going.
Caron looked for the gap. Wasn't there? Little knock on at the
knock
back.
on in the tackle.
Oh no, we come back for a penalty for a high one. Red time.
Couldn't have been a high one on Andrew Brown.
Knock this one over. Go and have half time would be my advice. See Jack Cook pointing at the posts. Don't know whether there is any more time. I think he's asked whether there's any more time. What are we going with? The forwards are
I
like.
think we're having a scrum.
I think the forwards almost seem to make that decision. Jack Cook not overly impressed with it. You can see him trying to move away from it. But it is central. Massive blindside.
You're trying to say that Jack Cook doesn't like a scrum.
No, I just think that
He likes points.
He likes points and
Percentages.
take the points and go and have your half-time break.
Let's see what comes out of this one, though.
There's a huge blindside, but again, for me, they've taken the blindside away by splitting.
Pitter directly at the back of the scrum, though. And we've got another penalty.
Pitter will go. Oh, and he
Straight.
will step and get out to one, and then he will go. Makes a fool out of me, but that's just individual brilliance from Pitter. And that's better than 3 points.
5 is better than 3. 2 to come.
Quick maths.
Good maths for me.
Yeah.
Without taking a shoe off.
Between the two of us, we've done all right, isn't it?
It was always going from that placement to Pitter, just seeing him standing his position at the back of the scrum. It's either he was coming into the line or it was Hector going to have a go himself.
Yeah, and again, I really enjoy watching Pitter play. Just he's really patient as he goes towards the line, and then he'll just explode off a foot and find a gap.
Either foot.
Oh, he's an incredibly talented runner. I'll give him that. So Plummer will look to tack on the extras. Oh, made us think
Snuck
again.
it through.
It
Snuck
did
it
go
through.
over, and that will be half time.
And that is half time.
22 points to 12, 10 points of difference. Ladies and gentlemen, do not go anywhere. We will be right back after this short break. So welcome back. The whistle has gone to start the second half at least, but Old Coles and Brighton are stoically staying in their positions.
No one's going to move first.
Liam McDonough, you've been renamed. Ah, there we go. Thanks, Millie. Got it. He's getting some good. And there we go. Scrum caps, 2-row for Old Coles was Billet. There we go. Billet or BA, one of the two. I don't know. I haven't spoken to him.
You make names up, so it's BA now, isn't it?
BA, Billet. We'll go with Billet until I get told otherwise. I just wanted to, while we've actually got this law, we don't have too many laws. Steph, as a New Zealander,
Yes.
is the build-up to the Rugby World Cup different for you? Is it, because like for me as an Englishman and watching the build, there's always like a, oh, will they, won't they, what's it going to be this year? For you, is it like, who are we going to play in the final?
No and yes. For me, like, the build-up's the build-up. I like the build-up, it's great. But it is, well, New Zealand do what they want to do anyway.
Yeah.
You turn up to watch them because they're the team to beat.
It's certainly, it must be a different feeling for you.
I don't know, I've never been English.
You don't want to be when it comes to rugby. I'll give you the top tip.
Okay, I promise I won't.
And we're underway.
We are underway. There was a kick-off deep and
it was. Joe took
into the
kick-off.
22 and then kicked out. So college ball. Oh no, college kicked it out.
Kicked
So
it out,
Brighton
so
ball.
Brighton ball.
Turned around half time.
No deliberates in rugby union.
Nope. And it doesn't appear to be any changes for Brighton.
Oh, I tell you what, if
Skelton off the top to Hector, out
and
to
then
Plummer.
Plummer will hit flat to Pitter.
3-man gang tackle on Pitter.
Then Caron will give it to Gerd, and Gerd is met by man, doing everything he can to try and
It's a
keep him from
tackle
getting to
ball.
ground, but he got there.
Ball available again.
I don't want to launch into that surrender tackle argument again.
Oh, you're going to though, aren't you?
No, honestly. Oh, Joe will find a little bit of space on the outside. Sends it back inside, but Rockaborough has done well. Now Murphy has to let it go. Slow ball for Old Coles, allows the counter ruck to come. Billet comes off the back. Well done, young man. Now he's got a name.
Well done, BA.
BA. Money. Obviously BA in French is money.
yeah.
There we go. But a little knock on at the back and Old Coles will give up the scrum and Brighton will go. What I was going to say is if Old Coles chose to go first half sun at the back, it's absolute tactical brilliance because it's just gone behind a cloud and I don't think it's going to come out again. So they're not going to have to deal with the sun like we thought we were.
No. It's always the way second half, looking into the sun down at the southern end, playing north, and it does fade out quite quickly behind the clouds and down over the sunset. So
no lights on yet. We haven't got to that point yet. Plummer to Satala. Inside ball, dropped it. Fleetwood Piper can't get away from Satala. Oh, if he had got away, that would have been interesting. A little knock on from Satala. Oh, I tell you what, it's not very often you say it, what, 80 metres out, but that's almost a try saver. I'm not sure whether because
two Fijian flyers had turned and were on his heels though.
Yeah, because everybody was up because it was a Brighton ball, so it was pretty much empty backfield. It just would have been a foot race.
And it would have been a foot race. It would have been interesting to see Pitter and Joe both trying to chase that one down.
The one thing I will say for Mr. Jackson today, it's probably one of his biggest day outs because Mr. Wosley and Rob Smedley both will question everything he does.
Every day of the week. And then there'll be the obligatory chat in the club rooms afterwards about...
Well, I saw him have about 4 chats at half-time. I think Jack Campion had a word with him and everyone was having a go. Just pulled that one, didn't really get any distance, but it's in touch. I think it was when we were at Elizabeth and so many missed touches from penalties and just can't do it. So Sivia Lineout's been scrappy today for Old Collegians. Haven't really hit the targets.
Going deep. Skelton straight up.
Yeah, knew it. Just really telegraphed. He passed it into the Old Coles player, but it is going to come back their way. Caron trying to direct traffic. We'll find Brown. Then he will go to Plummer. Plummer will just put it to boot. How's the bounce? Bounce works okay.
Pitter feigning the quick throw in.
Yeah.
Fooled nobody.
I just paused a bit because Villiers was in the air, but
in touch.
all he did was kind of lift his legs. But it's an interesting one. It's one that, you know, any referees watching, literally, if you just do that little jump and then get tackled, is that a penalty?
It is a penalty. And just about a card every time.
Plummet.
Straightening.
Whoa.
2 balls gone backwards.
There was just a fingertip, I think, from Old Coles. That's a nice little battle as well. I'd like to see more of Pitter versus Bartlett. Murphy,
nice in ball,
soft hands, inside ball. Caron again. The back to Cook. See as well, if we get a break and play, I'll raise it. Then they will go out to Marco. Caron again. Just
back to Murphy, straightening.
Yeah. Just really dictating the pace now at the moment. Brighton playing at their pace. And Old Coles are just starting to look a little bit ragged defensively around that rock.
I think the ball's slower.
Oh, and there's the inside ball, and Rockerborough had done enough. Out to Brown. Brown looks to run around the outside. Taken by Malcolm and Fleetwood Piper.
Jaden Phillips, pick and go. Stripped in the tackle though. Coming back for a penalty. Not rolling
away. Okay.
Coach Killer directly in front on the 22.
Yeah, you would expect. Although, yeah, they are going for points, but I was going to say you would expect them to go for points, but Hummer's not been as metronomic as you would want. There's been a couple of times we've sort of held our breath with him. I know he puts the time in.
He does. Like our power bill was amazing. Like 40 minutes, 40 to an hour after training, out there kicking goals.
Well, maybe he is doing what he needs to do, and
he does. He gets.
He knows what it is. It's close, but
I think he's fighting the weather today as well a bit. He's got the wind at his back now. See what adjustments he's made at half time. Same process every time.
And that one is
slotted.
Yeah, that's no doubt about it. So there's a change now. He did tell me his name. Rocco, I think, the number 19 coming on. Do you know much about him?
Recently joined us as of today. He's come down from the Northern Territory.
Northern Territory pipeline.
Has played a bit of 7s and a bit of 15s before, as most Fijians have.
I think it's law, isn't it? It's like conscription.
I think they have to do both of those before they do school, or it's part of school, or it's a part of rugby for them.
That one certainly looks contestable.
And taken by Skelton, wasn't it?
Skelton or no Skelton? I don't think it was Murphy. I think. No,
Murphy was on his feet. Ball out to Pitter,
and Bartlett gets him and it just
flicked out.
Flung out, but Joe has done well to get it.
Back into Rocco.
Yeah, McDonough again making a tackle. He's been close to faultless today with tackling wise. Little knock on. But talk about a game of two halves. The sun's gone away, and I think the wind's shifted as well. I think the wind is now again almost, just looking at the fight, it's swirling around then at least.
It does generally change late in the afternoon.
Because there was a moment, the old doctor, it's not really the doctor over here though, is it? But
wrong side of the island.
But the same principle.
Yeah, or let's go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not quite as prevalent as the Fremantle doctor, but yes, there is a swing in the afternoon. Solid scrum.
Rockaborough again. We'll send it out to Busby. Busby with a flat ball that just wasn't taken by Edgar.
Knock on. Let's re-scrum it. Centre field, right on halfway.
There is absolutely nothing worse than that pat on the head from the opposition after you knock it on, is there?
So infuriating. All you want to do is crawl into the biggest crack in the field you can find, but no, somebody's got to point out that you've made an error.
Yeah.
So great field placement again for Brighton. Half the field to play, centre field, and everyone's standing behind the scrum.
So Carl Edgar, one of a couple, and they are only a handful of people who've played multiple sports on Spacequake broadcasts. When he named it, he could have named it something easier, couldn't he?
Ball lost.
Playing on, and
Turned
Rockaborough
over.
will go. Mokomoko in support. And solid as well. I tell you, I've been impressed with Mokomoko in that transition from sort of half-back, playing a lot of 9-10 to moving into the back row. I've been impressed with how he's taken it on, to be honest.
Does that come with age and weight gain?
Well, you said it. But certainly, I think as you get older and you get slower, you move forward on the field or you move down in the grades.
So did I start as an old person?
Yeah, you started as a fullback at 2.
Oh no, I started in the front row.
Just born experienced. So it will be a Brighton scrum again, centre field. Have they stacked? Looks like they've stacked one side completely.
There's nobody on the blind side, so you would have to be looking at blind, wouldn't you?
You would think so, but normally you would stack the opposite side to where the halfback is.
We'll get that ball back, right?
Oh,
messy,
very messy. And a knock on. So opportunity wasted, opportunity lost.
Solid scrum there by College.
They had something, but Richard Bosley is he's the king of the head scratcher, isn't he? Because I don't think I've ever seen a coach empty the field completely from one side.
Well, he's all about making other people guess. His playbook's amazing. It's in his head. He said, I wrote this down. I left my book at home. I'll have to go from memory. But yeah, definitely comes up with a myriad of different moves and ventures out there. Mokomoko off the back.
Now the more traditional sorts of 8-9-15.
But it was just 8-9. Ran on the angle.
Made
Still
good
has
yards.
the ball. Recycled.
Into Morrison. Met well. I wish that football would finish.
Yes. I'll keep looking. What was that for?
Busby just running sideways, really. Excellent challenge by
number 6.
Header. Penalty.
Offside, I'm picking.
Again, the line speed defensively and the ability to get behind the gain line by both of these sides makes that offside line very, very difficult at the moment.
The ball's coming out so quickly anyway. A lot of the time that it'd be hard to officiate the offside line as well. I think in the nature of the beast has kept it quite a flowing game by Snoop. He's marshalled it well, as he as always uses his voice.
Well,
changes, Gerd off, and who went on? Chad. Is it Chad? Yeah, Chad's come on. So line out.
And
15 out.
definitely driving maul.
Oh, good drive by Jack Cook.
And they've decided to go off the top, off the back of it, and they'll drop it inside. Whoa, that is a hit from Brown.
And another one on the ball. Ripped it.
Oh, have to call him red wine because he is getting better with age. Caron, was that behind his own goal line?
Robbie Ferguson
It was
drops it on
behind
the
his
boot.
own goal line. It takes a lovely Brighton bounce.
Oh,
Goes to Villian. He did very, very well.
to hold that.
Then Fleetwood Piper will look for a little bit of space. Then he will send it across to McDonough.
Forward pass.
Oh, no. Oi.
Directly in front of the referee.
Yeah, I want to see it again, but it certainly looked to come out of the hands backwards. That one's definitely fine.
That one was. This one, not so much.
Oh,
Across the body and forward.
So there's another change.
Mitch Wenk on for Liam Hamilton.
Yeah. Did you see the pickup from? Will you see the pickup from Villian? No. The look of exasperation on McDonough's face.
And then still cops one from Pitter.
Yeah. Oh, and it kept going.
Murphy off the back to Caron.
Oh, that's a nice little move. That one.
And Joe left it behind.
That one is, whoa, no doubt at all. And then Pitter just swinging a hoof at it. Short ball to Sivia and just nowhere for him to go. And that one is a...
that is our whistle that time.
That is our whistle that time.
Come back for the knock on by Joe.
So it'll be a scrum down, 25 points to 12. The penalty, the only point so far in this second half.
And slow scoring is the first half. Great position for College to mount an attack from here.
We have seen the Brighton scrum, certainly the last one we saw, just struggling a little bit.
2 changes since then though. Rock solid by both teams for that one.
Busby, that one will bounce its way to Bartlett. Bartlett does well. He'll just go straight. One high, one low. Good, excellent counter ruck from Pitter, but unfortunately he was on his own. Rockaborough to Mokomoko.
Oh, legs taken out. 6
Again,
and 8.
one high, one low. It's been an absolute tackling masterclass from both of these sides today. A little bit of a shove forward from Timmy Dawes. Gets him going forward. McDonough.
Oh, kicked it into the back of one of the Brighton players. Ball's in play, going into touch.
This
College
should be
ball.
a college ball, yeah. I don't know whether that was his back or the good old Falcon.
Oh, let's go back, eh?
Well, I'm sure we'll replay it if it's a Falcon. We'll
Oh.
see it again if it's a Falcon.
Highlights reel.
There's Jaden Phillips' mum on the sideline. She always videos the games.
She does. Shout out to Sam. Does a great job. Perfect placement for this line out.
I know, yeah.
Be able to call it straight or not.
It's a change in line-out thrower,
Yep,
and then
that
it's
was
gone to the
straight
back
as.
to Mokomoko. A little bit messy, but tidied up eventually. Then inside. Oh, you could see what he wanted to do. Is that Pete Cross has come on? Is that a change? Is that Pete Cross or Carl Edgar?
Still number 11.
No, there's definitely a change in inside centre. I just don't know who it is yet. No, it's not Pete Cross. His boots are black. Crossy would have been wearing the old orange numbers. So scrum midfield. Brighton ball.
Bang on halfway.
Well, it's more of a traditional 8-9-15 setup. Let's see what they do. They've got to win it first.
Ball in.
Better.
Sitting nice. Hitting left.
Oh,
Floated that
no
one.
good. Can they get it going forward? No. Fleetwood Piper met Ferguson first, and then the new guy.
Ball just floated out of the hand for that one there. It was not tidy.
No, and it's just been those little skill errors, but they're still winning. They're still up there.
The lights are now being switched on.
There we go. The CME Sports lights. You would hope they're from CME, wouldn't you?
They were from the CME, mate. Sports lighting, Rugby Park. Well, scrum just going down on this side.
It's hard to see which, you know better than I do, but the angle from Phillips didn't look great.
Oh, I think it was just a foot slipping straight out from the outset. Wasn't quite set. He'll reset himself, and bit of encouragement there from Andrew Brown.
Just I had a look at the field when I turned up today, and it probably plays better than it looks, if I can say that. But
Yeah, there's a couple of wet spots from some sprinkler heads, but overall it's in pretty good nick.
better. Oh, good hands, but this time they're on top of that. It's the same one that they scored from in the first half. Morrison sends it out to Villion.
Lesson learned. Nice. Oh, Murphy.
Yeah, now you got to let it go.
Let it go now. Ball's at the
back. Mokomoko.
Sliding in for that catch.
Did well.
Job done. Ball available again.
Busby. It's a man.
Head up in the middle. Oh, he's lost the ball.
Lost the ball. And counter-attack is on. Caron. Oh, just didn't quite go to hand.
Snatching at it. Oh, what's Joe going to do from here?
Oh,
straight into about 4 players.
Yeah, well, that's not unusual.
No.
What is unusual is they stopped him.
And there we go, another high tackle. There's a surprise.
Yeah. But there's certain trends. Every time he catches the ball, he has to reach high, and then every single tackle is borderline high with him.
It is. But never been shy of contact, has he? Plummer looking for the sideline.
Good leg from Plummer.
Gets it to just over halfway.
And there is Ben Villion. Coming into this game probably a lot earlier than he expected.
Oh, nice ball taken by Skelton. Brown in the middle, off to Jaden Phillips. Scragged by 2 players. Good leg drive.
Just about. I thought he was going to turn it over, but he got away with it. Caron.
To Mitch Wenk. Out to Skelton. Oh, throws the intercept.
McDonough again. He's had a good day out, Liam McDonough.
Had plenty of opportunity and some great tackles.
Old Bobby. Mokomoko met.
Flat ball.
By Rocco. Now they will go again. Busby sends it out to Villion. What can Villion do? Beats the first one. Chopped in half by Ferguson. It's a lot of him to aim at, in fairness. So what have they not releasing?
Not releasing, yeah. Pitterhead all right to the ball there.
Yeah, and he kinda beat the clean out. Good tackle from Ferguson.
So hands on ball now, there. And then rolling the balls there.
Yeah, that's fine. I think they would. Oh, he took the penalty as well.
And Fleetwood Piper just coming through on the side, I think it was, in the end.
Well, you definitely give the no release.
Oh yeah, hanging on for dear life.
Yeah. I mean, you've kind of got to at that point, haven't you?
You do. So line out directly in front of us.
Not that we can see it.
I can see a flag.
We are aware that there's a rugby game out there somewhere.
So Mitch Wenk to throw, 4-man.
So a little bit of a change. Oh no, it's not great from Wenk.
Oh, good line there.
Yeah, Morrison managing to make some excellent yards after the contact. Rockaborough out to the left-hand side, then inside ball. Rockaborough didn't like what he saw, so comes back this way. Mokomoko will give it to Dawes. Thought better of giving the pass. Now to Fleetwood Piper. Should have the pace to beat the outside. Does. And manages to get away from Ferguson. Ferguson managed to slow him up enough. Rockaborough there early. Dawes. Just a hard inside line. Rockaborough again. Busby with the in and out. Sits down Plummer. Then the offload. Man, can he get there? Yes, he can. Gee, that was, as far as rugby goes, that was about as good as it gets. A beautiful little passage of play. But Busby just broke the ankles of Plummer. And then a nice little offload to Man, and too big, too strong from that far out.
Had some work to do to get there though, 3 players to beat.
This little in out from Busby.
Just caught Joel flat-footed.
Yeah. Nothing you can do at that point. So,
nope.
25 points to 17 with the kick to come. Rockaborough handing over the kicking duties to Villion.
Make it a 6-point game.
With what, 15 minutes to go plus stoppage time. Setting it up nicely.
Oh. 2 points.
Looks like a fairly interesting technique as well.
Might have to give him some tips after.
I found it's best not to be honest. If it works for him, leave him to it.
Well, certainly won't help.
Talk to them as much as you want, really.
Exactly, yeah. Choose to listen. Story of my life.
Yeah, so Joe will restart again. It's an interesting one because they're generally very, very good, but hasn't got the call up today. Man with a run from the boundary line. Well, there was a moment where Murphy thought his counter ruck was going to be okay, and then that was turned around. Bartlett comes back in field. Oh, a couple of lazy tackles from the boys in black and yellow. Allows old Coles to get there. Inside ball. Oh, just went forward. Alfie Malcolm just not quite there. No, just a second on Alfie Malcolm. He's a quiet achiever, I think is a good way of describing Alfie. He just goes and does his job. You don't see much from him that's massive, but you see him about. He gets around, he wears the red headgear, so you can hardly miss him, and he just does what needs to be done.
Yep. Like you said, quiet achiever.
Do you like that?
Oh. It's okay for you.
It's not mine.
But for a number 6, he's not your general offensive number 6. It's just a horrible thing that's out on the field that's annoying constantly.
You need them.
Oh,
I don't know where that was going, but
horrendous ball, Joe.
That's a turn that need to be there. There was questions asked about the tackle and dismissed by Jackson. In the end, they kicked it back, and this is where Satala wants to be, and beats the first one, beats the second one.
Swivels out of the
get
third.
Away from doors.
Ball available.
Caron.
Passed it into the ref. We'll have a scrum there, I'd say.
So Caron pulled up a little bit lame from that one. I think he's okay.
Oh, I think he's just angry with himself for not getting it away cleanly.
It all got a bit scrappy. Well, as a whole, it got scrappy. Missed kicks and inside passes that didn't need to be there.
It's a few hands on knees with about 15 to go. It has been a torrid game on both sides.
Yeah, the temperature has dropped markedly, and I think, thankfully, I've just heard the full-time siren from behind us, so we can concentrate on one whistle from now on.
Rather than 5. I think everyone has a whistle in AFL, don't they? So Brighton scrum on the 10 metre.
Penalty. What's that
on the
for?
Angle.
Oh.
Tight head prop on the angle.
We'll see if they take a kick at goal. I'd like to see that again, and I'd like you to have a look at it. Oh, and then
and 10 metres.
10 metres.
There will definitely be a kick
so
at
now
goal
it
here.
will be a kick at goal. It's So if we get to see it again, there we go.
Step, yep, straight in. Hips turned, and the elbow came down. Had only one place to go.
Yeah. So Steph is one of the members of the front row union. I think do you lose your front row union card if you give away the dark arts? I think you're not allowed to go to the meetings anymore.
There is no meetings, mate. They're all out there. A quiet little chat at the start of the game.
So you have to drive straight. For those of you new to rugby,
hips and shoulders square to the try lines for the kids out there.
Yeah, and it can get a bit messy in that front row, and it's all about you trying to make it look like your opposite numbers not doing the right thing while you're doing the right thing, while at the same time not doing the right thing.
You don't know what you're talking about, Dave.
Am I wrong there?
Clearly you're wrong. For a bloke that's played every other position bar the front row.
I play front row in sevens. Does it count?
Does not count. It's like a rugby league scrum. 3 points.
There we go. That will go over, and 28 points to 19. About 12 minutes to go, and just every time old Coles have looked like they started to get a roll on and started to really make inroads to that Brighton lead, things like that happen. Just pushes them backwards. So Rockerborough will continue. There we go. That is the old Brighton Rugby clubhouse that you just saw on your screens.
Yes.
That will
limited
disappear.
shots of that now.
And it's
Ryan France on and number 23.
Well, just see what hand that comes off.
Yeah, it was off a Brighton player.
I know it's an old Coles player, so it's
Was
gone
it?
into touch. Yeah, that's the arm he's got out.
Oh, he changed arms.
So it'll be a Brighton lineup. Oh, he's gone very, very quick.
Very flat.
Worked. Plummer puts it on the boot.
Ranging kick into space.
How's the bounce again?
Oh,
Bounce is
that ball
about
is horrendous. And finds touch just after the 10-metre line.
Robbie McDonough fooling absolutely nobody with the fake lineup. But while it's got some history and got some tradition around that clubhouse, it is in desperate need of an update, isn't it?
It needs to be brought into this century, yes.
Yeah.
The stories it can tell probably don't need to be retold.
Well, I don't think you're allowed to build on it again, are you? It's almost like sacred ground.
Oh, well done, Jaden Phillips, cleaning up at the
as well.
back.
Two ex-juniors who will have played together right through the state system, going against each other with Alfie Malcolm and Jaden Phillips.
Brown to Cook. Cookie leg drive.
It's been a wonderful battle watching Dawes take on Cook as well today. Two people would never take a step back. Mahogany versus Oak at times, those two.
Righto.
Brown.
Massive sail there. Ball at the back. Out for Skelton. One way, straight ahead.
Oh man, could he get hands on? No.
Cleaned out.
Caron will send it to Plummer, out to Rocco, and then again pulled back further to Pitter. Pitter will step back inside. As per usual, will beat the first one. Can't get away from the second one though.
First time seen go forward from Rocco. Contain in the middle field.
Flat ball again.
Out to Greg Black. Takes it through
makes
to the
some good
first one.
yards.
He did.
Both Satala and Pitter saying we don't want it yet, go that way.
Send it that way. Now they'll be screaming for it.
It won't come quick enough. Should have come that one, they'll be saying.
Nope. Let's play right to the sidelines, then bring it back.
Yeah, they
One
again,
more.
Brighton really dictating the tempo of this game. 9 points ahead, they kind of can. Caron again, they'll go right out to that far sideline. One more in, it'll be interesting to see whether they go off this one. Now they do go. Plummer decides to attack the line. Malcolm gets him.
Penalty.
Big whistle, penalty.
Tap.
Offside. Yeah. Would have been interesting to keep count of the offside penalties today. There's a fair number of them.
It's generally the penalties these days, isn't it? That offside line is what most players dice with.
I think statistically, most of the time it's around that tackle ruck more, with not releasing or not rolling away. You know, no clear release from the jackal or side entry. But both teams have been really, really good around the ruck today, I think.
I think it's probably the coaching from both sides. It's like, forget about the ball. Let's concentrate on our offside line and reforming for the defence on the attack. And Brighton, we've talked about it this year, and we've like the penalties that we've given away at the breakdown have just been countless. It's such a, if it's clear jackal, then you've got time for it. So Brighton setting up for a driving maul off the top of the line out. 5 metres to go. Looks like Caron's got it at the back.
Oh, it's stolen.
Stripped through.
Billet.
Penalty for side entry. Let's go with that, eh?
Well, yeah. Make it up. Whatever.
Let's go with that. Or was it a
That's
knock on?
fine. So it's Andrew Burgess who's come in at the 12th position. Not Crossy.
No, you'd given up on Crossy anyway.
No, I called it early. I mean, I saw
Yeah.
a flash of him and thought it was him, but
Called it on the boots.
Another penalty. What are they going to do here? He's talking to Timmy Dawes and Billet. Is that the point we're at, where there's been too many?
I think so.
Breakdown penalties.
Brighton, you just about have to go for a scrum from here, wouldn't you?
Well, your line-up worked very, very well on the last one. I mean, if you can't make 5 metres, you want to back yourself, wouldn't you?
You do. There you go. Called it. Murphy off the back, into the corner, I'm going to say.
Well, let's see whether Richard Wosley is going to dig deep into that playbook of his for his starter moves. Well, you say you don't normally see starter moves be overly successful. when you start.
Back yourself.
But you don't, you always would, but you don't see him very often.
No. Perfect storm, eh? Ball at the back. Murphy.
And they've gone the blind side.
Caron.
Oh,
And Joe owned.
Again, the inside ball from Joe. Just, he wants to play on at all costs, doesn't he?
Yep.
Or at any cost, really. Because that went to the hands of Rockaborough, and
Well contained again by Murphy on back on the inside. Covering.
very famous interception from Rockaborough on this ground in a grand final 3 years ago. Was it against? It wasn't against Brighton, was it?
Can't
It was
remember
Old Coles
this morning,
Burnside. Old Coles Burnside, I think it was. High hanging kick, and let it bounce. Oh, he wanted far too much time. Busby does well, then Mann will bounce off. Now Brighton are on the back foot. Mokomoko, flat ball to Bartlett, to Villon. Villon will put it on the boot. Pitter will come across, does very, very well. Oh, hit very, very hard from Bartlett. Saw his head snap back.
22's on Nacho Bosch. Best name in rugby, isn't it?
Nacho Boss.
Bosch.
Bosch, okay.
Argentinian.
Oh! Hello, Mr. Murphy.
Cleaned up well by
Yeah,
by Skelton.
kind of had to be.
Yep. Oh, have another go. And Joe's off.
Oh, he beats the first one and the second one. Oh, well done, Alex Rockaborough again.
Had to make that tackle though.
I mean, look, we should point out that Alex Rockaborough did have a Super Rugby contract not a million years ago.
No.
Immensely talented, only haven't seen him around because of his knee, and we haven't seen him on our screens very often. I think we saw him in that 2016 grand final that we talked about, and that's been about it, but certainly he has shown his class today. His speed from the back of the ruck. I mean, we did say at the beginning of the broadcast, he does like to get into people when he sits on he sits on this side of the camera, so he has to be.
Well, he hasn't let himself down today. He's done himself no disservice. His delivery of the ball after having to move from 10 to 9 has been well placed. He's picked and gone. He's made all the tackles that he's had to.
Well, he has, and yeah,
and then some.
Yeah, but you know, he played for Fiji, played Super Rugby. We shouldn't be surprised.
Well,
is the point I'm trying to make.
You shouldn't be surprised, but doesn't matter what grade you're playing, you've still got a job to do.
Yeah, exactly. But you know,
like he's not a one-man superstar. Put it that way.
No, he's, and that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to say
he's had a great.
It's almost a level of expectation on his shoulders.
It is, but it shouldn't be, is what I'm saying as well.
Yeah.
He's got 14 other blokes out there that have to play with, and to play as a team, you can't be an individual. You've got to look after your players. You've got to look after your mates, and today both sides have done exceptionally well in their support play, and defence has been second to none. There's been some spectacular tackles. And
that, I mean, and you know, mentioning that has been one of the highlights of this Brighton team over the last couple of years, and Old Coles look like
had a look.
Just has a little shout at himself. I'd say he plays with his heart on his sleeve, old Robbie McDonough.
Yes, he's
Robbie Madonna,
or Liam, or whatever you're going to call him next.
Yeah, when he does bad things, he can be Robbie Madonna.
Okay, let's be Robbie Madonna. He's had a cracker of a game.
He has.
He definitely hasn't let much past him.
But going back, Brighton's team play is what set them apart. You add the individual brilliance of Joe and Pitter, but like you say, you need the 14 around them to create those opportunities for them.
Exactly. There's a lot of hard work that makes a good team play, but and that's what trainings are about. You've got to get off.
Plummer finds a gap. He'll go through, then go to Rocco. He'll float it over the top to Joe. Joe versus McDonough.
In the corner.
Got him, but he's too late. And Joe will go over in the corner.
Without a high tackle.
Well, McDonough's probably one of the few people. looks straight down about. That's the far end of the field as well.
He spotted it.
That's picking out a camera from a distance. I tell you what, as we watch it again, Plummer beats the first tackle, and it's a lovely floated ball over the top. And McDonough, there's very little you can say that he's done wrong.
Nope.
But Joe will finish again. And
that was a great line by Plummer. Coming back in, dragging the defence in, everyone's taken half a step in, and then the ranging ball out to Joe to finish in the corner.
He finished it twice. You only get one though, Joe.
He gets ragdolled for his trouble.
And generally, every time I see Joe play, I'll go and see him after the game and congratulate him on his performance, because normally it's a multiple try scoring game. He loves rugby.
Doesn't
the
he?
Smile
the
on
grin,
his face.
ear to ear. Yeah.
Ear to ear. Anytime you talk about rugby or you remind him about rugby,
His face lights up.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yep. His passion for it can't be questioned. He loves it. So Plummer lining up from far out on.
It's never coming back.
No. I think he might just say far out on that one.
So there it is. That is, we are into red time. I don't know how much is left to go.
Final plays, I would have thought, being at 80 minutes.
I think so, and Plummer left it late to show a little bit of individual brilliance. We got there, and I tell you what, that's...
Joe still had some work to do to get there.
He certainly did. That's not a gimme.
Nope.
Especially not against a defender of the calibre of McDonough as he's been today.
Deep kick. Centre field to Murphy.
Murphy does well again. Out to Joe. Now what can he do? Wow. Now he's got lots of space, lots of time. Can he beat the second one? He does. Then he will step back. Still going, Joe. Then it will go over the top.
To Pitter.
Then inside to Rocco. Slows down a bit and he will go over and score. No, knocked on.
Oof. Good defence. Who got there again?
Wow. Well, that was...
Plummer straightening again. Oh, this is the play before.
This is the one before where he finished it. That was almost old Coles-esque, that counter-attack from Brighton. So that one's fine.
We've still got time on.
So this is the one. It's a wonderful counter-attack from Joe. You kind of wanted him to go all the way, didn't you?
Ball out to Pitter.
Inside ball. That's one miss. 2-3. And then over the back to Pitter. Inside ball, just trying to see. It's the covering tackle from Rockaborough, but
Rockaborough just arm on ball, knocks it out. Ball out, long way to go now.
They're going to have to go. There is Crossy. Only joking, Andrew. Now they will have to do the old Coles counter-attack out to Fleetwood Piper. He has some pace, gets around the outside. Puts it on the boot. He'll take on Satala. Satala versus Fleetwood Piper. Bounces around. That is some excellent covering. Is that Nacho?
Nacho Bosch coming through.
That is
another man who has passion for rugby.
You would think if time is done, this will just go out the back. Oh, charge down. And a little knock on and the try.
Knock
Got
on
to
first.
be a try. Oh, Alfie Malcolm, you deserve it.
We'll give you 5 for that.
We talked it up. Where was the first knock on? So it's come out to Plummer, slip, charge down, knock on.
Oh.
Unless there's something that we missed.
Perhaps it was before there.
And I think, is it a Brighton scrum as well?
It is a Brighton scrum.
Charge down, knock on, try.
Coming back for the advantage. Perhaps there was a knock on when Bosch came through.
Oh, right, yeah, okay. Well,
that is
will be
that is
anyway.
time.
That will be that.
Well, what a display.
Oh, I think, have we... He's just kicked the ball. I think the ball got kicked into the touch and collected somebody on the sideline. Little cameo from your wife there.
Yes, it was. And there's Richard Wasley shaking hands.
Well,
so that must have been a knock-on.
It must have been something in that, because in this passage of play, there's absolutely nothing wrong.
Oops.
I mean,
Oops.
essentially, it had no effect on the game. It must have been something before that. We would really like to see Alfie Malcolm get some 5 points. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolutely fantastic afternoon of rugby. I'm kind of disappointed that we have to go. But we will be back with you next week. I will just give me a couple of seconds. It's been a fantastic day today. The weather has been fantastic. The sun's gone down now.
The lights are on.
Lights are on.
The game is done.
So next week we're at Unka Paringa. Not next week, I don't think. I think
Next
we're a
week's
week
the bye
off.
week.
Week off next week because it's the schools rugby tournament. So best of luck to all of our youngsters who are going and playing in that schools competition. And then the week after that, 20th of July, we're down at Unka Paringa.
Big smile from Joe. Wave to the camera.
So ladies and gentlemen, from me, Dave Webb, and Steph Redmond from CME Sports Lighting Rugby Field. It's been an absolutely wonderful day. Thank you for spending your afternoon with us.
As always.
And thank you very much to everyone at home watching. From a beautiful Brighton Oval, we'll speak to you soon.